An example in middle school in social studies, U.S. history, we learn about the American Revolution and the Declaration of Independence and how we became a country. But for our students, that's like ancient history because there's no relevancy. It turns out that according to the United Nations, there are about 15 territories today that are still under colonial rule. And the United Nations has a plan to decolonize those nations. Now, take what I said about middle school students and social justice. They will be kind of jazzed by the fact that, wait a second, you mean there are countries today that are still under the rule of another country? And so the plan would be you're going to select one of these territories, you're going to learn a little bit about it for homework. In school, you're going to be immersing yourself in the American Revolution and how we became decolonized, and then you're going to see what are the similarities, differences, what might you suggest to the other country in order to actually get them to be, independent nation. Now, notice I said, and I want to be careful about this, all of that looking into the other country, which is not in the curriculum, homework. That's what you're doing outside of class to then come in and study the curriculum in school. Another one with science. We learn about single-celled organisms. You know, we come in, I mean, how many, and you know, if you're parents, you may have experienced some of the macaroni models of cells. And so the idea is that, you know, sure, you look under a microscope and you see a paramecium or an amoeba, pond scum. It's always like, you know, fun stuff. But again, where's the relevancy? It turns out that scientists have identified that you could clean up radioactive water with single-celled organisms. As soon as you say that to a middle school student, you know, their brain cells just start firing. Really? How would that be possible? Like, what do we know about single-celled organisms? And again, now we're going to learn about single-celled organisms from this angle of being able to clean up radioactive waste. And we have something like the meltdown, the nuclear meltdown in Japan. You know, you can really apply it to a real-world situation. So those are two examples that I'd shared before.